This is Kevin Hoover coaching. I'm talking about two things today that Simon Sinek presented. I use these with my clients a lot, but I use them together. So he presented them in two separate videos. I like them both. I love them both. But what I do is I mesh them together because I think they relate and I think they push forward. So the first one is what he calls the golden circle. If you saw the TED Talk about why, how, and what, you know what I'm talking about. He talked about Apple computers and how Apple sells the why and works out to the what, and all the other computer companies sell what and work in. And that's why Apple has created this sort of culture that has just propelled them beyond everybody else. So here's what I want to present to you. So when you work with the golden circle, it's very easy for us to determine our why. So I'm going to take real estate, for example, or it could be a lawyer or a mortgage broker or insurance, but it's real easy for us to say why we do what we do, right? And that is important. All right, it's easy for us to say how we do what we do, and it's easy for us to say what we do. When you get into a sales environment and you get into marketing and trying to reach your ideal audience and build your audience and things like that, there has to be an element of multiplication. There has to be two golden circles, one for you or your organization, your company, and the other for your ideal client. Meaning you have to know why they do what they do. You have to know how they want it done, and you have to know what it is they expect to be delivered. So that's the one thing that I would add to what Simon Sinek did, is that this has to be duplicated, one for the organization and one for the potential client or the target audience. And a lot of times we get wrapped up now, if you only are focused on what you do, then you might as well be an employee of someone else, because then there'll be another department that handles the other piece of who are we going to market to. But if you're in any kind of entrepreneurial space, and if you're in real estate, you're an attorney, mortgage lender, insurance, you're very much an entrepreneur. You are. And a lot of people don't connect that, but you very much are, because you have to know these things for your brand to flourish. So knowing your why is important, but no one really cares. They don't. I'm sorry, they don't. Knowing your why is important so that you can build a brand and core values around that, so that you can then attract people who believe the same things to you. But you're not going to tell people your why and expect them to care. They just don't. What they care about is, do you understand their why? Do you understand why they need to buy a house or need an attorney or need a mortgage or need insurance? Do you understand why they need you in their life? Do you understand how they want this to happen? Do you understand what it is they're trying to accomplish? And that brings into play his second, which is the person in a square room. So the theory is, and this is, it's not even theory, it's actually proven fact. So the point is, you have a person in a room and you say, go to this corner here. So it's very clear where the target is. And so this person starts walking, and then you put a chair in the way. This person can easily sidestep the chair, continue on, and eventually find the target, find the end goal, the result. And so that is because they started out knowing their why. Now, if this is a client, then you can see where it's very easy to achieve that, because you knew the why from all sides. So same scenario, here goes my eraser. Same scenario, but we're trying to get to a random point. Clean this up a little bit. So we take the same person, same room, and we say, pick a point. Pick a point anywhere in the room. And they say, well, where do you want me to go? Well, it doesn't matter. You pick a point. It doesn't matter where you go. Okay, I'm going to go here. So that person believes that is the point that they're supposed to go to. So they start walking, and they're going, and they're going, and they're going, and they're going. And then we put an obstacle in front of them. And what happens? They immediately say, well, he said go anywhere. They said go to any point. So I'll just go over here to this point. That's good enough. So when you only understand your why, this is what happens. Because you can fulfill your why in a lot of ways. When you have a clear endpoint, and that is your potential client's why, as it meshes with your why, it's very clear. Two people believe the same things, are going the same direction. Then you sidestep obstacles and hurdles and challenges and things like that very easily. But when you just don't know what your target audience or your ideal client or potential client, what they feel about the golden circle, when you have no idea, then you shy away from it and you just go find someone else, or you just adjust what you think you're doing. It's very fascinating how these two work together. So when I work with my clients in coaching, the first thing we do is we, of course, find out why they're doing what they do. But then we also flip directly around and we find out why the clients are doing what they're doing. If you're in real estate, why do you have to move? Not why do you want to move. Why do you have to move? Right? If you're an attorney, why do you need an attorney? Not why do you want an attorney, why do you need an attorney? Because that need and that just how you form that question will illustrate the why. Excuse me, will illustrate the why. So, 2 golden circles, 2 sets of why, how, and what. If you work from the inside out on both, you get a very clear understanding, and then you get into a point of pulling instead of pushing your business. Pulling is easier by science, fact, because of friction. We won't get into that because I don't fully understand it myself, but pulling is easier than pushing. So if you're working from what to why, you're pushing your business onto people. You're pushing your product onto people. And when you work from the inside out, you're pulling people into your product. You're pulling people into your business, and it's much easier. So if you start on the inside, just like Simon says, and you work your way out on both golden circles for your clients and your business and your company or organization, then that's the way to go. One of the things that I teach, I love Simon Sinek. He does a lot of great work, and I really try to correlate what he does to what I do. And this just kind of made sense to me. Hope it helps you. This is Kevin. See you guys.